Good afternoon from Los Angeles, California. I'm Dr. Ryan Ava. Republicans and Fox News hosts have a weird obsession with the great state of California. They love to rag on it. They claim it as an example of a liberal governance gone wrong, the disaster of a blue state.
California in decline.
The state of California is collapsing, and many Californians are fleeing.
It's not affordable, it's not livable, and it's locked down for most of the time.
Totally unlivable.
Take a look at the dumpster fire that is California and the failed state of California.
California is dying a slow and painful death.
California has gone off the cliff.
We have the highest taxes, the highest energy costs. They've taken away our toilets that actually flush.
Now, California is a state that has got problems like all of them. But it's really weird and extremely insecure to see this on Fox News over and over. However, Republicans, especially those from the second most populous state in the union, Texas, love to compare themselves with California as a kind of competing model of governance. Just take a look at this tweet from the Republican governor of Texas, Greg Abbott. Quote, "Remember those high taxes, burdensome regulations, and socialistic agenda advanced in California? We don't believe in that. We believe in less government and more individual freedom. If you agree with that, you will fit right in." End of quote. Trying to lure Californians away, especially businesses, inviting them to leave the supposed tyranny of California for the land of the free in Texas. This actually worked with Tesla, luring them from Palo Alto to Austin, Texas, much to the delight of the podcaster and Senator Ted Cruz. Now, it is true that California currently is in crisis. We are in the midst of a record-breaking heat wave, the most severe ever in the month of September. Sacramento hit 116 degrees on Tuesday, an all-time high. Of course, climate change is making heat waves like this more intense, more common, longer lasting, and more frequent. But California also has some of the most forward-leaning decarbonization efforts in the entire country. Just a few weeks ago, California announced a ban on the sale of new gasoline car taking effect in 2035. Earlier this year, renewables powered just under 100% of California's daily energy needs for the first time ever. So, as California meets its latest energy crisis, we are seeing the results of our model. The alternative to the Texas plan, which is much more focused on fossil fuels. Take a look at this graph. It's a little bit hard to read, but check it out. It shows different sources of energy California uses to power its grid and how the supplies fluctuate over the course of the day. On Wednesday, September 7th, in the thick of the heat wave, each colored line here represents a different type of energy. Bright green is renewables, mostly solar power. As you can see, during the hottest daylight hours, renewables picked way up. At noon, right in the center of the graph, renewable sources were providing half of the energy California needed. Another interesting thing you can see in this graph is how batteries are helping power California's grid. Take a look at the light orange line in the lower right section. You can see the battery power kicking in there in the evening where the sun starts to go down and the solar panels start making less energy. This all worked so well this week during this intense heat that California is experiencing that California was actually able to avoid widespread blackouts or rolling brownouts, something that honestly used to be just a fact of the life in the state of California. The government has also been asking residents to reduce demand on the grid during the early evening hours when it's most stressed, requesting people to keep their air conditionings at 78 degrees and not run major appliances between 4 and 10 p.m. And that did not sit well with the fossil fuel loving podcaster from Texas, who took the opportunity to deliver some almost inspiringly audacious dunking on Fox News.
Today's Democrat Party is all about California environmentalist billionaires. I love that Gavin Newsom was wearing his fleece, obviously in cool air conditioning, saying, let them eat cake, let them sweat, you don't get air conditioning.
Okay, I don't know about the air conditioning and I don't know about the fleece. All I know is that when Texas faced an extremely rare and devastating weather event last winter, their grid heavily dependent on natural gas, didn't hold up. No, the entire infrastructure basically froze and millions of people lost power, some for days on end. While our governor in California, Governor Gavin Newsom, may or may not be spending time in air conditioning, at least his state has electricity. We all remember that when Texas grid failed, Ted Cruz tried to quietly skip off to Ritz-Carlton in Cancun to soak up the sun with his family, while people in his state that he represents literally froze to death. And he only came back after people found out about it, took pictures, and he was shamed into returning to the crisis. So in that respect, score 1 for the California model. To support my work, please click the subscribe, the like button, and the notification bell so you wouldn't miss any of my new videos.